Assalamu alaikum class. This is your teacher, lecturer Asif here. I hope you people are having fun. A very warm welcome. Today we will be having our seventh lesson on writing skill, and we will be learning tenses by matrices. But let's see, what do we mean by tenses first? And you know that whenever we speak a language, we follow certain rules. These rules are called the grammar of a language. But we should know, we should have this idea that a grammar does not prescribe rules to be followed by a language. Rather, a grammar just describes the rules a language is already following. And whenever we are engaged in any conversation, we may talk about three different times at maximum. In any conversation, we may talk about three different times at maximum. We can talk about a time which is already past. We can talk about a time we are living in right now. And we can talk about a time which is yet to come. And this concept of time in any language is called tense. So we have three tenses in English language, or we have three tenses in any language, because we can talk about three different times at maximum. We cannot talk about four different times. We can only talk about three different times at maximum. And this concept of time in any language is called tense. And we also know that verbs show action. And to see how the time of action shown by a verb, if we want to see how this time of action shown by the verb is related to the speaker or listener, we have a division of time in three main categories. We have a division of time. By time we mean tense. We have a division of time. We have a division of tense in three main categories, just to see how the time of action is related to the speaker or listener. If the time of action is present, we use present tense. If the time of action is past, we use past tense. And if the action time is future, we use future tense. And we have divided, for example, let's see this by an example. Suppose we have three things. We have three words: a boy, an action verb eat, and an apple. To show difference in the time of action, we can use present, past, or future tense. We can say that a boy eats an apple. We can also say that a boy ate an apple. And we can also say that a boy will eat an apple. So the first sentence written in red shows that the event of eating is in present time. And the next sentence, the second one written in purple, catches the event in past tense, and the third signals the event time to the future, that eating will be done in future. So we have three different tenses here: present tense, past tense, and future tense. And we have, certain delicate differences In each of these three categories, in each of these three tenses, we have divided each of these three tenses, present, past, and future, into four aspects. We will talk about them in detail. We have an indefinite aspect of every tense, and we have continuous or progressive aspect of every tense. Then we have perfect aspect, and then we have perfect continuous aspect of every tense. Right now, we will first talk about this indefinite aspect of all the three tenses, present, past, and future. And we will be learning about them. We will be learning about the uses of indefinite tenses. Present indefinite tense in general describe facts and habits. As we have this sentence, Salman loves cakes. So this is a fact. For example, the sun rises in the east. This is a fact. So one of the uses of present indefinite tense is to describe facts. It also describes habits. For example, she plays football on Wednesdays. This is a habit. Similarly, we use present indefinite tense to describe scheduled events in the future. The train arrives at 9 o'clock. The sun rises at 4:30 tomorrow. And then we also use present indefinite tense to tell stories, particularly jokes, to make your listener or reader feel more engaged with the story. For example, a skeleton walks into a bar and says, "Give me a beer and a mop." So, walks into a bar. This is present indefinite tense, and we use past indefinite tense to describe a completed activity that happened in the past. In other words, the activity started in the past and ended in the past. For example, he went, she played, and then we use future indefinite tense to describe an action that will occur in the future. She will go, they will understand. And we will now learn to construct sentences of these three indefinite tenses by an activity known as matrices. And we will be filling in these three columns, present, past, and future. And in rows, we will be filling in the rows with the sentence structure and drill of these tenses, of indefinite tenses. And let's see, in the present indefinite tense, we have sentence structure subject plus base form of the verb. By the base form of the verb, we mean first form of the verb. And we also add s or es to the base form of the verb if the subject is third person singular. By the third person singular, we mean he, she, it, or any single name. For example, you see, I play, he plays. Now, subject is third person singular, he. So we have added s with the first form or the base form of verb. Salman teaches. Teach is the base form of the verb teach, and we have added es with the base form because subject Salman is third person singular. And then we have past indefinite sentence in the next column. And here the structure is subject plus past tense. By past tense of the verb, we mean the second form of verb. As we can see that I play becomes I played in past indefinite. And he plays becomes he played in past indefinite. And Salman teaches become Salman taught in past indefinite. Taught is the past form of teach. And then in the future indefinite, we have the structure subject plus helping verb, will or shall, and plus base form of the verb. I shall play, he will play, Salman will teach. We must note here a very important point that present indefinite and past indefinite, these are the two tenses which do not have any helping verb in their positive sentences. As you can see, I play. I is the subject and play is verb. And there isn't any helping verb here. Similarly, in the sentence of past indefinite, I played. I is subject and played is verb. And once again, we do not have any helping verb here. So, in the positive sentences of present indefinite and past indefinite, we do not have helping verbs. And in the positive sentences of future indefinite tense, we do have helping verbs. Will and shall are the helping verbs of future indefinite tense. But next we have to make negative sentences of all these three indefinite tenses. And the structure of a negative sentence of present indefinite tense is subject plus do not or does not plus base form. I do not play. He does not play. Salman does not teach. We will be careful here that we use does not with the third person singular. As you can see, he does not. Salman does not. But we will be taking care of another important point that when we add does not, we remove the S which was added with the base form of verb. So the sentence becomes, he does not play. You might note that we have dropped the S which was added in the positive sentence, as you can see it just above, he plays. But we do not say that he does not plays. When we add does not in sentence, the S which was added with play, it will be dropped and sentence becomes he does not play. And the same goes for the next sentence, Salman does not teach. When we have added does not in the sentence, es to the base form of verb automatically drops. And then in the next column, we move to the negative sentences of past indefinite. And here, the structure of the past indefinite, the structure of the negative sentences of past indefinite tense is subject plus did not plus base form. I did not play. He did not play. Salman did not play. Here uh, we will be taking care of another very important point, that when we add did, when we add did not to the sentence, then we cannot use the past tense of the verb. When we have added did not in the sentence, then we will be using base form of the verb. As you can see, we have this sentence, I did not play. It is not that I did not played. I did not play. When we have added did not in the sentence, we have changed the past tense of the verb into its base form. As you can see, we have the sentence here, I did not play. He did not play. Salman did not play. And if we move to our next column, the negative sentence of future indefinite tense, we will just be entering not after helping verbs, shall or will, shall not or will not. The structure of the negative sentences of future indefinite tense is subject plus shall not or will not plus base form. As we can see, I shall not play, he will not play, Salman will not play. Here, let me tell you that we use shall with I and we, and will is used with the rest of the pronouns. And then let's have the structure of interrogative sentences of all these indefinite tenses. As we all know that a sentence may be made an interrogative sentence when we bring helping verb of a sentence before subject. And we can see here that the structure of the interrogative sentence of present indefinite tense is do or does plus subject plus base form and question mark. We have do I play? Question mark. Does he play? Question mark. Does Salman teach? Question mark. And then in the next column, we have the structure of interrogative sentences of past indefinite tense. And it is did plus subject plus base form and question mark. Did I play? Did he play? Did Salman play? And all of these sentences have a question mark at the end. But we should never forget that whenever we use did in any sentence, we will use the base form of verb in that particular sentence. As you can see, it is did I play? The base form of verb. Did he play? The base form of verb. Did Salman play? The base form of verb. And then we have the structure of interrogative sentence of future indefinite tense. And we have will or shall plus subject plus base form and question mark. Shall I play? Question mark. Will he play? Question mark. Will Salman play? Question mark. So this is all about the sentence structure of indefinite tenses. Now we will move to progressive tenses. Progressive tenses of all the three tenses, present, past, and future. We use present progressive tense for an ongoing action in present. Progressive tenses are also known as continuous tenses because action in these tenses is continuing. Action in these tenses is in progress. It continues. This is the reason that these tenses are called progressive tenses, or these tenses are called continuous tenses. And in present continuous tense or in present progressive tense, we use it for describing an ongoing action in the present. For example, John is baking a cake, or they are painting the fence. Similarly, we use present continuous tense for describing an activity that is going to happen in the future, but it is a planned activity. For describing a planned activity in future, we also use present progressive tense. For example, we're moving to New Zealand in the summer. Or we can say that the train is arriving in 2 minutes. So this is future, but this is a planned future, and it can be described by present continuous tense. And then we have past progressive tense, and we use it to describe an ongoing activity in the past. For example, John was baking a cake. They were painting the fence. And we use this tense, this past progressive tense, to set scene for another action. For example, John was baking a cake when the storm started. So we have set action, we have set scene for this action of storm. John was baking a cake when the storm started. They were painting the fence while I was cutting the grass. So we do use this past progressive tense to set a scene for another action. And then future progressive tense, future continuous tense, is used for an ongoing action that will occur in the future. For example, John will be baking a cake. They will be painting the fence. We will learn about the structure of these tenses, these progressive tenses, by an activity known as matrices, and we will be filling in these three columns, and we will be entering in rows the sentence structure of these tenses, and we will be also having a drill. So let's move to the matrices. The structure of present progressive tense is subject plus is, am, are plus base form and plus ing, right? So the sentence structure of present progressive tense is that we have subject in the beginning, then we have to pick from these three options, is, am, are, depending upon the subject. And then we have the ing form of verb, which is also known as present participle. And by present participle, we mean adding ing to the base form of verb. As for example, I am playing, and you can see that we have added ing to the base form of the verb play. He is playing, they are playing. And if we move to the next column, past progressive tense, here we have the structure subject plus was verb plus base form plus ing. I was playing, he was playing, they were playing. And the structure of future progressive tense, we have subject plus helping verbs will be or shall be plus base plus ing form. I shall be playing, he will be playing, they will be playing. And then if we want to have the negative sentences of these tenses, then we will have to add not after helping verbs. The sentence structure of the negative sentence of present progressive tense will be subject plus is not or am not, are not, plus base form plus ing. For example, I am not playing. He is not playing. They are not playing. And if we move to the next column, I was not playing. The structure is subject plus was not, were not, plus base form plus ing. I was not playing. He was not playing. They were not playing. And similarly, the negative sentence of future progressive tense will be, the structure will be subject plus shall not be. We will enter not between shall and be. Similarly, we will enter not between will and be. Sentence should not be that shall be not. No, it should be shall not be. As for example, we have these sentences, I shall not be playing. He will not be playing. And they will not be playing. And then we will have the interrogative sentences of these tenses. But here we have made mistakes. Let me make a few corrections here. Give me a minute. We will bring this helping verb before subject, and sentence automatically becomes an interrogative sentence then. We will be taking a few minutes here. Please be patient with me. Yes, here we have the sentence structure of interrogative sentences of these tenses. And in present progressive tense, we have the helping verbs in the beginning before subject is MR plus subject plus base form plus ing and question mark at the end. For example, am I playing? Is he playing? Are they playing? And then in the next column, we have the sentence structure of interrogative sentences of past progressive tense. And we have was, were, plus subject, plus base form, plus ing, and question mark at the end. For example, was I playing? Was he playing? Were they playing? And we have question marks at the end of these sentences. And then we have the sentence structure of interrogative sentences of future progressive tense. And we have will, shall, plus subject, plus be, plus base, plus ing, and question mark. Shall I be playing? Will he be playing? Will they be playing? We have to take care of this point that in future progressive tense, the basic helping verbs are will and shall. And whenever we have to make sentence negative or interrogative, when we have to make a sentence negative, we will be entering or we will be placing not right after shall and before be. As you can see it in your right column, I shall not be playing. He will not be playing. Similarly,